Hi, my dear student. This is the last lesson, so I'm going to make a recap or a summary of sequence 4 and sequence 5. My dear pupils, just follow with me.
Okay, so let's get started with sequence 4, me and my school. Me and my school. So, in this sequence 4, me and my school, we have seen the majority topics related to school life. First, we have seen some rights and duties. So let's get started with my rights. We have seen some rights, 5 rights: a good and free education, a safe environment, equal opportunities in class, play in the schoolyard, and finally, express my opinions. Let's move on. Now, my duties, 5 duties. We have seen 5 duties. First, number 1, I stand for the national anthem. Number 2, I obey and follow my school rules. Number 3, I respect the opinions of my classmates. Number 4, I take care of school materials. And finally, I do my best in class. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about your school rules. Number 1, I arrive at school on time. Number 2, I raise my hand to speak. Number 3, I don't write on the wall, this is the wall, and the tables. Number 4, I don't eat food or bring my cell phone to the classroom. 5, I speak politely to my teacher and classmates. For example, I say, "Excuse me." Number 6, I don't arrive late. Number 7, I don't chew gum in class. Number 8, I greet my teacher and classmates. For example, I say good morning, hello. Number 9, I do my homework. Number 10, I don't shout in my classroom. Number 11, I don't throw litter, this is litter, on the floor, etc. Let's move on. Second, my dear pupils, we have seen how to name the different places at school and how to locate those places using prepositions of place. Okay? Some different places at school. We have the classroom, the biology lab, the library, where you read, for example, books, the physics lab, the computer room, the canteen, the place, for example, where you have lunch, the sports ground or the playground, the staff room or the teacher's room. Okay. Also, you have learned how to locate places at school using the right prepositions of place. These are some prepositions of place, for example, next to, between, on, in, near, at, etc. We use them to locate places on a map. Prepositions of place: in, on, behind, in front of, between, near, next to, under. Okay. Also, my dear pupils, you have learned how to ask and answer questions about location. For example, you ask your friend, where is the library? Where is the canteen? Your partner, for example, answers, it is next to the biology lab. It is near the classroom. It is behind the playground, etc. We use this question, where is? Okay? Let's move on. We have seen also, or you have talked about your school subject and your school schedule or schedule. Okay. Now let's see some school subject, for example, maths, biology, computer science, physics, French, English, our subject, Arabic, history, geography, Islamic education, civic education, art, music, and finally sports or PE, physical education. We call it sport or PE. Okay, let's move on. You have learned also how to ask and answer about your schedule. This is your schedule, or we can pronounce it schedule. Okay? For example, how to ask and answer about your schedule. What do we have on Tuesday? Your friend answers, we have math, Arabic, French, biology. In the morning, sports, in the afternoon. Or you can ask question, when do we have English? B, we have English on Monday at 9 a.m. When, what, where, we call this type of question WH question. Second type of questions is yes or no question or auxiliary questions. You start with the auxiliary. For example, do we have sports in the morning? B, no, we don't. It's or it is in the afternoon. Do we have physics in the morning? Yes, we do. Okay? So, in, on, at are prepositions of time. For example, we use in with the parts of the day. For example, we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. We use it with months. We say in April, in May. We use it with years. For example, we say in 2020, in 2019, etc. With months, in October, in November, etc. Let's move on. We use on with the days of the week, on Monday, on Sunday. We use it with dates, for example, on April 15. Okay, let's move on. The last preposition of time, at. Generally, we use it with time. We say, I get up, for example, at 6 o'clock a.m. I go to school at 7:30. We use at. Thank you so much. Let's move on. We have seen how to talk about actions happening now, or at the moment of speaking, using present continuous with its three forms: affirmative form, negative form, and interrogative form. Okay. I use the present continuous with the three forms: affirmative, negative, and interrogative form, and the time marker now to describe actions in progress. Let's start with the first form, affirmative form or positive form. This is the rule: subject plus to be in present simple, am, is, or are, plus verb plus ing, plus object plus time marker. For example, I am studying English now. She is writing the lesson now. They are practicing sport in the schoolyard now. Let's move on to second form, negative form. Here we use not. So this is the rule: subject plus to be, am, is, or are, plus not, plus verb, plus ing, plus object, plus time marker. For example, I am not watching TV now. It is not raining now. We are not studying French now. Let's move on to the third form, interrogative form, when you ask question. Here we have two types of questions. We have auxiliary questions. We start with the auxiliary, for example, to be, and we have WH questions. WH like what, who, where, and when. So this is the rule of auxiliary question: to be, am, is, or are, plus subject, plus verb, plus ing, plus object, plus time marker, plus question mark. For example, is he reading a book now? Question mark. Here you answer with yes or no. Yes, he is, or no, he is not. Are you listening to me now? Now, second type of question, WH question. So, WH, what, who, where, or when, plus to be in present simple, is, are, plus subject, plus verb, plus ing, plus object, and finally plus now and plus question mark. For example, what is he doing now? What are you studying now? Where are they practicing sports now? Okay, let's move on. Fourth, we have seen how to recognize and distinguish between the different sounds. We have seen 5 different sounds: j, j, g, y. This is y sound, not j or j, no, or je. And n sound. First sound j, like Algeria, enjoy. Second sound j sound, like pleasure, vision. G sound, like flag, green. Y sound, like you, yes. And finally, n sound, like long, morning. Don't say morning, morning. Thank you. Let's move on. Finally, my dear pupils, we have talked about what is my ideal and perfect school. We have seen what do we mean by the ideal school. Its building, for example, classroom, garden, school canteen, library, etc. What are the different subjects that you prefer studying, like math, English, PE, music, etc.? And finally, what are the different rights, duties, and some school rules? So, my dear pupils, this is all about what have you seen in this sequence 4, me and my school. Okay, my dear pupils, let's move on to see the recap of sequence 5. In this sequence, we have seen the majority topics related to our beloved country, Algeria, and other countries. Other countries, for example, China, Australia, Brazil, United States of America, Canada, etc. So, in this sequence, me, my country, and the world. We mean by the word here the different countries: China, Russia, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, USA, Canada, etc. My dear pupils, I talked about my country, Algeria, its flag, its currency, its food, languages, religion, celebration days, famous cities, and monuments. So let's get started. Okay, this is the map of my country, Algeria. Algeria is located in North Africa. This is our continent, Africa. Algeria is located in North Africa. This is the flag of our country, Algeria. What languages do we speak here? Okay. We have 2 official languages, Arabic and Tamazight. The Algerian dinar is the currency of Algeria. Islam is our religion. Our national dish is couscous. We have 3 religious celebration days: Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, and Mawlid Nabawi Sharif. Also, we have national celebration days like the 5th of July, the Independence Day, the 1st of November, Algerian Revolution Day, the 1st of May, Labor Day, etc. In Algeria, there are many famous cities. For example, in the north, we have Algeria, Blida, Tipaza. In the east, we have Skikda, Constantine, Annaba, Sétif. In the south, we have Oran, Tlemcen, Sidi Bel Abbas, Mostaganem. In the south, we have, for example, Tamanrasset, Ardaya, Ghardaya, Adrar, Tindouf, etc. Okay, some examples. For example, Algiers, the capital city, Oran, Tlemcen, Sétif, Constantine, Ghardaya, Tamanrasset, etc. Now, let's move on. We have talked about some famous places and monuments in Algeria. For example, Martyrs Memorial or Maqam al-Shahid, the old city, the Kasbah, Our Lady of Africa, Notre Dame d'Afrique in Algiers, the Great Mosque of Algiers, Roman ruins of Timgad in Betna, Roman ruins of Jmila in Sétif, the famous Sidi Msid Bridge, the suspended bridges in Constantine, Jedar tombs in Tieret, Roman ruins of Tipaza, ruins of the Mansoura Mosque in Tlemcen, Santa Cruz Fort in Oran, Al-Qal'a of Beni Hamad in Msila, the beautiful place Askrem in Tamanrasset, and finally Tassili Najjar in Elisi. Wonderful. My dear pupils, we have seen or we have learned how to locate places on a map. For example, this is the map of Algeria. This is the map of the world. For example, Algeria is in North Africa. Okay, we have seen the difference or the 4 cardinal points: north, south, east, west. North, south, east, west. So, to locate a place, I use the auxiliary to be in present simple plus the cardinal points east, west, north, south. Example, Sétif is in the east of Algeria. Tlemcen is in the west of Algeria. Algiers is in the north of Algeria. And finally, Tamanrasset is in the south of Algeria. To talk about location and famous places, I use where and what to ask question. For example, where is Askram? Where is Askram? Askram is in the south of Algeria. What is Tassili famous for? For example, where is Askram? Askram is in the south of Algeria. My dear pupils, also you have learned how to ask and give information about our country Algeria, flag, currency, national and religious celebration days, national dish, monuments, cities and famous places. For example, you ask your friend, what is your currency? It is the Algerian dinar. What is your national dish? It here referred to national dish, couscous. What are your national and religious celebration days? We have Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, the 1st of November and the 5th of July. Can you name some famous cities? Yes, I can. There are many cities like Algiers, Sétif, Constantine, Oran, etc. What are the famous monuments? We have Makam Shahid, Roman ruins in Tipaza, Timgad in Batna, and Jmila in Sétif. This is how to ask and give information about my country, Algeria. Let's move on. My dear pupils, you have learned how to ask and give information about other countries like USA, United States of America, Nigeria, China, Great Britain. Also, talking about the flag, currency, national and religious celebration days, national dish, monument, cities, famous places, etc. For example, this is the flag of Nigeria. Rice and beans is their national dish. Its currency is the Naira. The 1st of October is the national celebration day in Nigeria. Let's move on to the second country. This is the flag of China. The national dish in China is Peking roasted duck. The national celebration day in China is also the 1st of October. The national currency is the yuan. Let's move on. This is the flag of the United States of America, USA. The national currency is United States dollar. This is the symbol of American dollar. National dish pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving turkey. Thanksgiving turkey. Now let's see some monuments in the United States of America, USA. Okay, this is the Statue of Liberty in New York, Lincoln Memorial in Washington, the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Let's move on. This is the flag of Great Britain. National dish roast beef with Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding. The national currency is the pound sterling. Celebration days, for example, Christmas and Easter. Now let's see some monuments in Great Britain. For example, Big Ben, a famous monument, the British National Museum, Tower Bridge. Now, my dear pupils, let's talk about some countries and nationalities. Some countries, these are some flags of different countries, and those people from different nationalities. For example, these are some flags of countries: Nigeria, China, USA, France, England, Spain, etc. Riyad Mahrez is from Algeria. He is Algerian. Algeria is a country. Algerian is nationality. Zinedine Zidane is from France. He is French. France is a country. French is nationality. Mr. Bean is from England. He is English. Jackie Chan is from China. He is Chinese. China is a country. Chinese is a nationality. So, some adjectives of nationalities ending with an, ian, ese, sh, For example, Kathleen is from America. She is American. American is an adjective ending with an. Adako is from Nigeria. She is Nigerian. Nigerian is an adjective ending with ian. Chan is from China. He is Chinese. Also, Chinese is a nationality or an adjective ending with ese. Michel is from France. He is French. French also is nationality. Also, it is an adjective ending with ch. Margaret is from Great Britain. She is British. British ends with sh. Carlos is from Spain. He is Spanish. Spanish ends also with sh. Now we have seen how to ask a question, for example, about countries. Where are you from? I am from Algeria. Where is he from? He is from China, etc. Or where do you come from? Where does he come from? Etc. Number 2, how to ask about nationalities. What's your nationality? I am German. I am Algerian. What's his nationality? He is Chinese. What's her nationality? She is American. She is British, etc. Okay. Now let's move on to sounds. We have seen 4 different sounds: ow, O or short O, long O, and new sound. Ow, short O, long O, and new. New, for example, in Singapore, Hong Kong. Second sound, short O, Honduras, Costa Rica. Long O, Norway, North Korea. Now ow, South Korea, Laos. We have talked about possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives describes who owns something. For example, I have a cat, or I own a cat, or this is my cat. I have a cat, or I own a cat, or this is my cat. We place possessive adjectives before the noun. For example, this is my school. School here is a noun. My is possessive adjective. So we place my before the noun school. The subject pronouns, we have 7 subject pronouns. I, possessive adjective, my. You, possessive adjective, your. We, possessive adjective, our. They, possessive adjective, their. He, possessive adjective, his. She, possessive adjective, her. And finally, it, possessive adjective, its. Let's see example. For example, whose book is it? It is my book. Whose car is it? It is his car. It means the car of this man. Whose house, this is a house, is it? It is her house. My dear pupils, let's see more examples to understand better. This is Paula. Paula lives in Venice. Her city is fantastic. It means the city of Paula. Michel lives in Paris. This is Michel. His city is splendid. It means the city of Michel. This is me. I love my hometown so much. My here refers to I. We loved our beloved country, Algeria. Our here refers to we. Now I'm talking to George. Hello George, your hometown Maldives is a quiet place. I'm talking to George. They, those people, live in Tokyo. Their city is noisy. Their refers to they. Elisi is in the south of Algeria. It is famous for its. Its here refers to Elisi. Tassili Najjar Mountains. Okay. Also, we have talked about the beauty of Algeria using some adjectives to describe it. For example, beautiful, amazing, fantastic, wonderful, splendid, etc. We use those adjectives to describe the beauty of our beloved country, Algeria.
Okay, so this is the end of both sequence 4 and sequence 5. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope that you have understood your lessons. Please, my dear student, try to revise your lessons at home. Goodbye.
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.